everyone. Welcome to the UFS Masterclass. Woo! The second run, no? It's the second time that we're doing this. It's going to be a very fun-filled, exciting session.
Yes. First time here in the UFS Chefmanship Center after a long time.
Yeah, together with me. By the way, I'm Kenneth Cacho. I'm the country executive chef of Unilever Food Solutions Philippines. Together with me is Chef Brando Santos.
Hello,
Senior
everyone.
sous chef. So, yeah,
Hey,
maybe.
we'll double check.
Is it working now?
Hey. Right. So again, thank you for being with us this afternoon, and hopefully this afternoon will be fun and richly afternoon for everyone. We will teach you new recipes that's very trendy nowadays.
Oh.
Very exciting, so it's cool.
Yeah.
So we will have also some opportunities for you to ask questions later on. Please send us some questions. We will try our best to answer them. And hey, so our agenda for this afternoon.
Okay. All right. So what we'll be doing today, like Chef Brando said, is the very trendy dish. No. In fact, sobrang hit. Baka naman, diba? And today we're making lechon baka. Now, the idea of this masterclass that we have is that we want to teach you the basics, at the same time showing off the trendy ideas that's out in the market nowadays, and also give you inspiration, what you could do in your restaurant, diba? So today, me and Chef Brando will be creating basically 3 dishes. One, I'll make a lechon baka. At the same time, Chef Brando will be making 2 sandwiches from that. No? Now, I'll be showing you how to make a lechon baka, and at the same time, showing you also a bread that we came up with, and we call it the Knorr bak. Okay, so which I'll explain later on. Now, to start, okay, let's talk about lechon first. No, I guess it's very important that we have to debunk what people know about lechon. Now, lechon could be anything. It's just in the Philippines, when you say lechon, isang buong carcass, no? Could be pork or beef, no? Now, in this case, we're doing a lechon baka, but we're doing it in a commercial way, in a more professional way. Now, we're not cooking a whole carcass. We're cooking a portion of really good prime cut of meat, which will also explain the importance of doing that, because in the end, it's all about making profit. Diba? So we're going to try to infuse the costing in the dishes that we're going to make today. So you have an idea, okay, of how to parang cost it in your own restaurant and eventually make a good profit out of it.
Yeah. Ba't ba trendy to, Chef Ken? Bakit ito naging uso ngayon ito? Out of the blue, biglang wow.
Oh, grabe nga eh. Bigla talaga, no? And I guess for two things eh. One, yung nag-skyrocket yung presyo ng pork.
Yeah.
Na sobrang mahal ng pork, mas mahal pa siya sa baka. I guess people eventually found ways of how to make a better profit with a cheaper ingredient. In this case, baka was cheaper than pork, diba? So that's one. Second, we're all accustomed to having lechon. O&D, October, November, December is coming. Nandiyan na naman yung mga festive meals, festive dishes. So this could be one of them, lechon.
Yeah.
Diba?
So itong recipe na ituturo namin sa inyo, right in time for the holidays.
Yon.
So, unahan na lang mag-launch.
Ang dami actually, no? It was made very popular by Unbox, and which is good because everyone is doing it now. Everyone is trying to, take a piece of that pie. Diba? So
the pie is big.
The pie is big. The pie is still whole. Pero malaki ring chunk ng Unbox. Anyways, it's very simple. What I'm going to share with you today is basically our way, okay, of making a very classic, traditional Filipino masarap na lechon into something special. Okay?
Take it away, Chef Ken.
All right, let's start. Okay, so today I'll be making lechon baka. And the cut I'll be using is a US piece of meat. It's a short plate. Ito yung belly part of meat. Why do I use this one? Because 2 things. One, for a restaurant operation, I know the amount of fat versus the ratio of lean meat. No? Mm-hmm. So right away, it will give me an idea how much I could get out of this. If I cook an entire carcass, maraming bones yan, Marami pang mga cartilage that you have to take out, soft bones. And bottom line, it's very difficult for you to project or calculate kung ilan talaga may kukuha nating portions out of it. No? So, using a piece of meat that would right away tell you, okay, quality, and at the same time, portion-wise, I could right away make a calculation. That's what we got to do. Okay, so
ano nga uli yan, Chef Ken?
short plate,
Beef short plate or
beef short plate,
beef belly.
belly. Oh, no, belly. US meat.
So I think pina-flash ni Richard yung recipe or ingredients here. So
we're flashing the recipe.
Yeah.
Now at the same time, I'm also going to make a brine. Okay, we're going to marinate this one in a brine solution. Why brine solution? We don't want to, it's not a dry rub. We want yung tinatawag natin nuot sarap. Di ba sa lechon yan ang hinahanap eh, nuot sarap. And for it to be nuot, meaning hanggang sa loob, may lasa, we have to make sure we inject a brine solution to flavor it. Okay, so very simple. I have here some water. Okay, so I'll just run through the recipe. Ingredients, it's going to be sent to you guys after this. So don't worry. If I don't give you the exact amount of ingredients I'm using, it will be sent to you after this. No? Okay, so you have an idea of how to do it, or at least you have a base, and then make your own. Okay. So water, 1.5 ml, liters, sorry. Okay. Good amount of water. Again, a brine solution is salt and sugar combined with some spices. No? I have here Knorr liquid seasoning. Okay, Knorr liquid seasoning, very, very important. Again, like I said earlier, we're creating a very classic dish and making it ultra special. Kaya, one of my favorite SKUs is the Knorr liquid seasoning. Okay? Pag wala to, hindi pareho lasa eh. Trust me. I have to use this one.
Correct.
Okay?
KLS.
KLS. It's about 200 grams. Padami. Now, this brine can siguro, you could use about 5 kilos out of this brine. Okay? So I'm just making a bit. I'm going to reserve it later on. No? Worcestershire sauce. Okay, this is about 50 grams, 50 ml. All right? Sugar. Okay, about 200 grams of sugar goes in. Some salt, 50 grams, refined salt, use iodized. Pepper, 5 grams of cracked pepper, and a lot of garlic, about 80 grams of garlic goes in, right? All we have to do is boil this one. You could put laurel, you could put herbs. It's really up to you, no? Ano pwede ilagay dito? Again, a basic recipe we're sharing with you, you call it your own by adding extra flavorings. So Chef Franz, ano bang normally gusto kong hinahanap sa lechon baka?
Gusto ko dyan yung, syempre, ng Knorr liquid seasoning.
Oo.
Iba pa rin yung flavor din.
Do you put herbs in your lechon?
Lemongrass. Lemongrass, shallots.
Exactly.
Minsan nilalagyan ko pa ng pandan yan eh.
Yun. Actually, masarap. Mabango.
Bango siya.
But dun pa lang sa KLS, Knorr liquid seasoning, mabango na eh. Diba? So, what we're trying to do here now is to bring this to a boil. Okay, the reason why we're doing this, one, to infuse the flavors that we have, and the spices and also the garlic. At the same time, we're pasteurizing it to make sure when we use it, zero bacteria. Okay, that's the most important thing. Especially when you're using brine, you have to make sure you boil it. And then you cool it down before you use it. Okay, so again, papakuluan ko siya. And then I'll boil it mga 15 to 30 minutes, simmer. And then I would strain it, or you could puree and then strain. Make sure wala talaga siyang mga bits and pieces because we're going to use an injector. Otherwise, babara. So, we cool it down, really cold. You have to make sure, the process of brining is very sensitive at the same time, very dangerous if you don't know the basics. No? Kasi pwede dyan magkaroon ng cross-contamination. Also, mas-spoil ka agad yung meat. No? Even if this has salt and sugar, it still can be, you're using garlic. And garlic, it contains most of the time, yung mga root crops. You have to make sure you wash it because botula is present. And botula is a very dangerous bacteria. No? Okay, we don't want that one in our food. So we want to make sure we cook it off and cool it down properly. Okay? Now,
gano'ng kalaki yung isang buong short plate, Chef, kung bumili ka pa na?
This one, normally, would range the US short plate is about 5 to 6 kilos, maximum mga 8. That's why this recipe is built for that. So if I have a whole slab, this is actually a fourth already, a 1/4 cut. Yeah. I didn't trim it anymore because yung kagandaan ng short plate na important, diretso pwede mo nalutuin.
Yeah, nga.
But the amount of fat is amazing, dami. No? Kaya also maganda to kasi very very forgiving itong fat ng meat. Most likely you will not overcook this one because it has a lot of layers of fat inside, no? So which means bago pa siya ma-overcook, yung fat has to melt first. Okay, so very forgiving.
So mukha talaga magandang pang lechon baka yan.
Oh,
price-wise, plus
price
quality.
Yeah. Dati mura lang, ngayon mahal na. Actually tumataas eh. Again, the Burmans are coming. This is now 420, I think, if I'm not mistaken, per kilo. Dati nakuha lang namin ito mga 350, 360. Now medyo mataas na. It's still cheap compared to pork. So, but again, medyo may presyo na. Okay? Now, today I'm making a lechon. We call it a lechon because lechon is basically a spit roast, meaning over coal. Diba? Yan ang talagang lechon.
Yes.
Now, the reason why we spit roast is because two things. One, we create more flavor while it's cooking like a rotisserie. Diba?
Uling, no, chef?
Uling. Diba? At the same time, the amount of heat that's generated by coals actually creates flavor. Hindi lang heat, also flavor. Pag yung
smoke yan, no?
Pag yung fat niya, pag nag-drip, the wood that the coals are made of actually comes out. Diba? Kung anong wood yan.
Pero ngayong afternoon, wala tayong spit roast, diba?
Wala eh.
So ano gagawin natin, kitchen hack?
Kitchen hack, okay. Kitchen hack 101.
Kitchen hack.
Alright, use what you have. Number one. Well, we have a very nice oven. But a lot of ovens now are built like this. In fact, meron sila yung parang smoking attachment. Lagyan mo ng wood chips.
Okay.
This is a combi oven. It can smoke, it can cook by steam, also by baking. All in one yan eh. So you could do a lot, no? May mga ganyang ovens ngayon. Professional kitchens have this one. Pag wala ka ganyan, regular oven, may nabibiling parang smoker na box.
Naka-tray.
Oo, di ba? Lalagyan mo siya na, hinitin mo, and then habang niluluto,
pasok ng oven.
That's another one. Ano pa ba? I would do this very easy way.
Yeah.
Okay? Which I don't normally do. But if I don't have anything, I would use liquid smoke. Di ba? Yung liquid smoke, be careful lang kasi very potent.
Yeah.
You can buy this one anywhere now. Shopee, Lazada, you can get
drops lang yan, drops.
Drops lang, ha? Pero this one, I don't want to infuse it inside. The same way when you're making lechon, ang infusion of flavor is outside.
Yes.
We're not smoking meat, ha? It's different when nag-smoke ka ng meat. We're actually cooking meat, not smoking. Kasi smoking entails slow
and cooking. And long
medyo
cooking.
higher temperature. Okay? So, you could smoke. So I'll show you later on how to make it. Okay, so now I prepared already beforehand. I just want to share with you.
Plate, no, chef?
Short plate, huh? Beef short plate.
Beef short plate or beef belly?
Yeah. I just want to show them the color. May kita mo yung color ngayon. This one has been marinating for about 2 days. Okay, at the same time, injection parate. And ito yung color niya, yung una. And ito yung color niya ngayon. Okay, so you could see, alright, that the color has absorbed already all of that garlic seasoning, brine. So you could see already, diba? Andiyan na pumapasok na siya. Now, if you have a tool like this, if you have a tool like this one, an injector, better, okay, because you could actually brine it in a shorter amount of time, okay, by injecting the brine easily, papasok sa loob yan, and it can actually cure it as fast, very fast, no? Okay, so yan.
Pwede rin ba sa pork liempo yan, chef?
Pwede.
Yung liempo or pork belly, pwede
And the
rin
difference with this one kasi, yung butas ng ating needle nasa side, hindi sa taas. So, pag in-inject mo siya, yung brine sa side, hindi mahihirapan yung mabas.
Maraming direction.
Parang may one direction siya, di ba? Yeah, inject mo lang, and then you press it. Okay, so you do this a couple of times. I would say in 8 hours marination, as long as sinasaksakan mo siya every hour, that would work. Okay, so parang 8-hour marination lang. Now, this is what I'm going to cook, all right? And I just want to share with you now. Okay, this one, I'll just muna to. All right, so yan na siya. Now, you see the amount of fat, no? Ang dami talaga. Okay, and fat is flavor, by the way. Okay, so it's very important also. Now, what I'll do is I will get some pepper. Very important that you get the pepper in. Okay, I think what people don't understand is that in a professional kitchen, you have to understand really what you're doing. Why do we have to put pepper? It's very simple. The reason why we put pepper and salt when you season is that salt brings out flavor. Salt adds flavor. And pepper as a spice, spicy yan eh, diba? It opens up your palate. So, combine mo yung dalawa, pag niluto mo yan, you will taste the full flavor of the beef. That's why me, when I season, I really like putting freshly cracked pepper because that would help open up my palate mamaya pag kinain ko yan. No? Alright. Yan lang. Super simple. Ngayon lang. And now, because we're doing a baking technique, very important that we have to understand how to bake. Okay? Now, baking, when we're talking about cooking, two things. One, there's two cooking methods involved. When we're cooking meat, one, we have to sear, and then second is we have to cook, di ba? Hindi lang yan diretso luto. Dalawang cooking methods involved. Now, what I'll do first is I will sear. So how do I sear? In the oven. Again, lechon baka, you can actually, pag meron lechonan kayo, usok mo yan and then you roast it in the spit. It's the same process. It's just that the temperature we have to understand. Now, I have to sear this one first. Now, in the oven, magandang mag-sear kasi I can tatasan natin yung temperature. In this case, when I'm searing, I have to sear at about 200 degrees Celsius or 220 higher. Now, what will happen is the heat will right away start cooking off the outside and eventually create a crust. And that crust is very important. One, for flavor, and two, to maintain the shape as it cooks for a long time. Pag iniwan natin yan, hindi siya madudurog basta-basta. Okay, so 200 degrees. Yan.
Sear.
Sear. No oil. Pinatong ko lang siya dyan para may air din sa ilalim. Pumapasok. Okay. I would say this is about 2 kilos. 2 and a half. 2 kilos.
Gano'ng katagal yan i-roast siya?
Okay. Sear muna for about 10 to 15 minutes at 200 degrees to 220 degrees Celsius. And then, I lower down the temperature to about 140, 150. So lower temperature. I don't want to cook it at 200. Pag hindi, lahat ng fat yan, tunaw ka agad. Then, kahit forgiving yan, magiging unforgiving siya.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to make sure we cook it at the right temperature. Sear first. Ilang minutes? 10 to 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking time, I would say, it would take about 3 hours. Because
Yeah.
slow cooking naman siya.
Slow.
Now, within every hour, I will brush it with 30 minutes to 1 hour. I brush it with the glaze. No?
Right.
Now, the glaze is very simple. Next ingredient. Okay. While it's cooking, I have a glaze. No? Again, Knorr liquid seasoning. Worcestershire sauce. And brown sugar. Okay. This will be my glaze. At the same time, I'm adding a small amount of smoking liquid. Small amount, mapait kasi siya eh, no? Okay. Then, you just heat it up. And this is what you use for glazing. Sweet, sour, all is there. Umami, okay? A little bit of bitterness from the smoke. You know, in the end, when you're cooking, you have to consider all of the flavors. Everything has to be there. You're doing sweetness, saltiness, spiciness. Then you have a complete tasting dish. So all of that is in here. Pero lang the spiciness is from the pepper that I placed already. Okay? So yan. Right, so yeah, no? So we will wait for that to cook. Meron po na akong yan eh. But, wait for that to cook. Okay?
Right.
Balikan natin yan, Chef Brando, no?
Yan.
Okay? Okay. Please put your questions in. If you have any questions, we'll tackle them later.
Kung medyo mabilis, again, we'll send you the recipe.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Okay, now, I'd like to share with you a very special bread that we created just for this
bread
particular dish, no? We're making a bap. What is a bap? A bap is basically a white bread. Or it's basically a bread roll.
BAP. B-A-P, eh?
B-A-P. No?
Pina-flash ni Richard dito, chef.
Yan. O, bap. It's actually a roll from Scotland, no? So, parang yan, parang tasty bread. Marami-rami iba mga tawag dyan. No? So, ito bap, again, it's just a name that the Scottish call for buns, no? Very easy. It's not that I'm promoting our products. It's more of I'm creating a bread that no one else can do if they don't use our SKUs. Okay? We want to show off the versatility of our products, especially the 4 SKUs that I'll be using today. So I'm going to create first a kind of like a mashed potato. All right, so I have here milk. Again, the recipe we will send to you guys afterwards. All right, okay. So I have there some milk, about 160 ml. I have here some butter. Okay, 100 grams of butter goes in. Okay, very simple lang to, halo-halo lang to. 15 grams of salt. I'm using iodized salt here. Sugar, 60 grams goes in. What we do is to bring this to a boil. Now, if you are a baker, I'm a weekend baker.
Weekend baker.
Hindi ako mag-bake.
Kami ang ano niyan.
And what we do is this is more of like what they call a tanzong method. It's a way how they make bread, no? And
parang meron kang starter na
starter. Oh, so now we're using potatoes here because the potatoes will help aid in making the bread ultra soft. Okay, because it cuts the gluten. So the gluten, the elastic property of starch of flour is, basically gluten is derived.
Niluluto mo ngayon siya.
Niluluto natin siya dito. So the potatoes, the butter shortening will help cut through that gluten and make our bread ultra soft. Now, you can also use oil. If you want your buns to stay nice and soft, even if it's cold, you use oil. Okay, better. Although butter kasi is all about flavor. So I'd rather use half or I'd use butter at the rest. Anyways, in the end, before we make our buns, our bread, we heat up our bread anyways. No? Okay, so bring this to a boil. We add our potatoes. Okay, we have here Knorr mashed potato powder flakes.
Yeah, potato
flakes. Okay, 99.9%. Okay, 99% potatoes. Okay, German potatoes, fried. Add this in, so it becomes kind of like a mashed potato. Okay. Now, as soon as it boils, you remove it from the heat. Okay, remove from the heat as it boils, and let it rehydrate. Okay, you can see that. Para siyang mashed potatoes, no? And you leave it to cool down. Now, I have one already that I've done beforehand. Ito na siya. It's cold already, no? Make sure everything that we use for our bread mixture has to be very cold. So this one came from the fridge. Now, to create our bread, it's very simple. This is your first step, no? Now, I have here also again milk. If you don't have milk, you could use water. Okay, you could use even cream and a bit of water. Parang basta sundan mo lang yung amount. I think in baking, it's very important that you have to follow the right measurements. Okay, so don't play around with it because this is something that's already been tested. You could again add or subtract whatever you like. But in the end, we created a really nice bread for you guys today. So I have here some milk. All that ingredients first. Eggs, 2 eggs. I have here malunggay powder. Okay, I'm making this one a bit healthier. I'm not skimping on ingredients. I'm using a lot of fat in here. that would create a very, very nice and luscious and soft bread. But let's try to make it a bit healthy by adding malunggay. At the same time, the malunggay powder will give a nice blue color, okay, to our bread later on. I have some instant yeast. Okay, goes in. Super simple lang yan. Dali, dali.
Okay, may message dito, Chef Ken,
Yep.
from Lorraine. Shout out to Samuel Antonio. So thank you for tuning in. Shout out, Samuel Antonio. Hope you're doing well.
Okay.
So go back. So we're going back to the bread.
Yan. So let's just mix everything together. Now, again, very important, we want everything to be cold. Bread develops flavor when you're doing it slow. Okay, as with anything, you reap the harvest of a good, bread when you slowly matured it. Like make it good, give it good taste by parang letting it rise very slow. So which means we don't want to parang we want to make sure this is cold. Pag mainit yan, the yeast will activate very fast, and that would create this not so good flavors anymore. But if you're doing it slow, it's better. No? Now, I have here also some KLS. Okay, the KLS goes in. Okay, also I have the potatoes. Okay, that I've done earlier.
Okay. So again, KLS is Knorr liquid seasoning.
Yes.
Knorr liquid seasoning, and thank you for joining us. We have 138 participants this afternoon. So thank you for spending your afternoon with us.
Oh,
thank you also to our support team, Chef Pico Aluning in the background, Chef Paolo. Chef, hi kayo. We're live, We're live here in our kitchen center in BGC.
Yeah.
We're live and breathing.
Super saya, no? We can work together again after a long time. All right, so if you don't have a mixer, I have here a stand mixer. If you don't have a mixer, you use your tabletop and do it mano-mano. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm using this one is because we have this one. It's easier, no? So what we want to do is let it parang gather into a ball. Okay, and we will let it rest for about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, just to absorb all of that moisture. The flour will absorb all of the moisture. And eventually it will come together. Okay. So super easy ng bread ito, it's not rocket science. You just put everything together. I think it's a good thing.
Well, may question dito. Pwede tayo sumagot ng question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Chef, may tanong. How about, Chef, if I don't have oven, how can I cook it? Yung baka.
Hindi. Yung baka, ko bread.
Baka ba o yung bread?
Baka o yung bread.
Napaka-specify please kung yung baka ba yung oven or yung bread. Pero kung yung baka, wala kang oven, paano mo lulutuin?
You could use charcoal. Again, traditional way of doing it. Charcoal, and roast it in a spit. Parang lechon, di ba? Pero, okay, good question. Pag yun ang question mo, good. Kasi, what we have to understand when we're cooking using a spit, right? It's the same technique. Ang difference lang, you have to use a thermometer para you can actually check if the temperature is the same like what I showed you. That's why pag nakita ka nag-lechon, ang mga lechonero, assuming ito yung lechonan mo, they would make parang they would make like a big mound of coal, di ba? Until it becomes embers. So yung temperature no mataas. So that's where they start it off. And then eventually they would actually ilalayo nila. But again, it's the same concept. From high to low. Ganun din yun. Very important that we understand the right temperature. No?
Okay.
Follow-up question yata.
Follow-up question?
Turbo daw.
Turbo, yes, definitely. Sa bahay, turbo broiler is basically a convection oven. It's the same thing. Air fryer is the turbo oven ng mga millennials. Yung panahon ko, walang turbo tayo. Okay? This can also be steamed, by the way. Pag wala kang oven, you could try steaming this one like a steam bun.
Yeah.
And then you could pan fry it afterwards. Iba rin yun. Now, you could see now, no? Okay, the dough is already there. And I'm going to put it here sa aking worktop. Okay.
So again, this is the Knorr Bak bread. Knorr Bak.
I hope you could try this one out, guys. Kasi It's really, really good.
It's a savory bread and really goes well with the Lechon Baka. So,
Oh.
nasubukan na namin to ilang beses. Ina-R&D namin.
You know, the good thing kasi with our kitchen, you know, like we can try out a lot of things. And before we share it with everyone, we make sure it really works. No? Again, I'm not bragging about our products. Our products are really, really good because one, it's very versatile. And second, you could actually create so much flavors out of our SKUs. And that's something, you know, not a lot can do. Diba? So what I'm trying to do here now is I'm trying to smooth them out. Okay? Now, you could see now medyo maano pa siya, di ba? Don't worry, it's just like that. But because there's so much fat in there, don't worry about it sticking. So just work it out. Bawas ka ng konting calories, no?
And workout pala to.
Don't add any flour, huh? Once you start adding flour, then it destroys the tawag dito, yung right amount. You know, you don't. Again, this is already we've tested this one like this, no? Okay. So you knead this one until it's nice and smooth. Okay. I wish I had more time, but after kneading, it will look like this.
Yan na.
Now, this has been resting for about, I would say about 30 minutes. Okay. We need this one to rest for about an hour. Okay, to double up. Okay. So yan din yan. No, actually, half dito yan, no? We need this one to rise and proof. I would actually normally do it inside the fridge overnight. Again, dahan-dahan siya. No, mas sumasarap yung bread natin. But in this case, because we don't have time, okay, we will just basically parang show you how to do it, no? In this manner. Now, I like my buns about 80 grams. So after proofing, doble na siya, di ba? Then you could actually create your buns, your rolls. So it's about 80 grams, okay? Now you could use a weighing scale, but this one can make about 7 80-gram, 14 80-gram pieces, but this is half ng recipe. Okay, so 80 grams. So ito, and then I just add a bit more just to make sure I have about 80-85 grams. No? Now, so this one, I'm going to actually let it rest a little bit, and I will roll it and for pre-shaping. Pre-shaping muna. Okay, so as soon as mo roll ko ng ganyan, just do that. Okay. Okay. So just roll it just like that. Okay. Like that. Okay. Now you could make any shape you wish, no? Like a back is round, so I'm rounding this off. So again, after no proofing, you cut it to your portion size. Like this is 85, 80 grams. And then you pre-shape it. Okay. After pre-shaping, we're going to then let it rest about 10, 15 minutes. And then we will roll it again parang to the shape we want. If for example I want to make it like into a medyo parang an oval roll. You flatten it out. Kasi if you shape this one now, the dough it hasn't rested yet, so the dough is very tough. The dough is very contract siya because the gluten is actually stressed. No, so this one you could see, pag, diba, kaka-roll ko lang, you could see bumabalik siya. So if you let this rest, then it becomes easier to work with. Again, you know, don't pressure yourself, just let it rest. But I just want to show you how to shape it. So you flatten it out, okay, and then you just roll it. Just like that. Then just
Later gagamitin ko yan.
yan. So isang shape ng bread yan. Okay? That's one. And then, if I were to make a round, so after pre-shaping and resting, I flatten it out, I pull, sides, and in, out, in. Okay, and then you have this roll. Okay, just like that. And then you could roll it like that. And then, that's our shape. Okay.
Alright.
So ahead of time, I've done some already. So ito na siya. See, from this shape, nag-ano na siya, nag-rise na siya. No? Okay, so it doubled up a bit. Alright? So that's already my back. Now, assuming this has already rested after rolling, the final roll, you let it rest for about an hour. So this has been resting for an hour already. Now, before I let it rest, for that last 1 hour stretch, I press it like that. Okay? And then put it sa tray. So flatten it out. After 1 hour, lolobo yan. And what I do normally is I would put a indentation dun sa gitna. The reason why I do that is because I want, once I see that wala rin indentation, then I know it has proofed properly already. Okay, so yung back, ganyan. Flatten, put an indentation, let it rest for an hour, to look like this now. Alright? Okay, so this one goes into my oven. Okay, we cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. 80 grams. Temperature has to be about 160 degrees. Okay? So, bababaan ko muna ng konti, no? Okay? And then, what we do next, alright, so I'll just put this on the side. Any questions?
Okay, so we'll ask Chef Kenneth. Ito we're going through your questions, but before that, merong pa-shout out. Reynold from Cagayan de Oro. Hello, Reynold from Cagayan de Oro.
Hello, Reynold.
Pa-shout out daw eh.
Shout out. Shout out.
Yan ang masaya dito pag live. Pwede kayo magpa-shout out, di ba?
Oo, di ba?
Okay, Chef Kenneth, marami tayong question.
Yeah, sure, go.
Okay. So if answered, you can use tiempo or baboy for the lechon. For the glaze, list of the ingredients, another seasoning which wasn't clear. Ano ba? Aroma to the glaze, the powder or chicken powder.
For the glaze of the
lechon.
lechon, I used only sugar, Worcestershire sauce, Knorr liquid seasoning. Okay, you could add a bit of oil if you wish, and the smoking liquid.
Okay, yan. Now going back to the smoking liquid, do you use Wright or any brand?
Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Me personally, basta, just to get that smoky flavor.
Okay.
Just to help out aid it.
What's the purpose of the liquid smoke added to the brining or the glaze, and where do you get your liquid smoke?
Oh, liquid smoke in Manila kasi you can buy this one in groceries. But definitely Lazada or Shopee, that's available. Me personally, I don't like putting it in the brine because I don't want it to overpower the meat. That's why, same thing when you're cooking the spit or lechon, diba the smoke is from outside and it basically permeates from outside in, dahan-dahan. Hindi yung ini-inject mo yung flavor inside. Okay,
so labas siya, glaze talaga.
Sa glaze talaga.
Para malasahan mo yung smoke.
Oo.
Again, so ito, review lang. Okay, best part of the beef should be used.
Best part.
Ito,
Beef,
short plate. Short plate or beef belly.
Yep.
Best weight for the lechon baka, 5 to 6 kilos.
Yeah.
Again, which is the best part for us? It's lechon belly or beef belly or short plate.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, smoke rub, where to buy it? Ito. Can I use matcha? I think this is matcha powder instead of malunggay powder for the back.
Why not? Why not? No?
Why not?
Yeah,
Okay.
you could use that though. Again, the reason why I'm putting malunggay, I want to make this a bit healthier in a way. Mm-hmm. And the amount I placed actually is about 5 grams for this recipe. That's a lot. The good thing is it lends its flavor with all the other ingredients. You have strong flavors that I've added in earlier. We have our Knorr liquid seasoning. We have malunggay. It all blends in. Right? It all blends in. Right. Okay.
Okay, so maybe you're asking kung magkano itong cost na to. Richard will flash
it na.
How much ang ating costing for this. Discuss natin ang briefly. Okay. So for the lechon baka that Chef Kenneth is making, That is, when we costed it, it's around 2,500 pesos. So the selling price for 100 grams is 187 pesos.
Oo.
Net 187 for 30% food cost, and net profit 37 pesos. As in, pag sinabing net profit, malinis na yun. That goes to the bank. That goes into your pocket.
Yeah.
Okay? So,
I
iba
think
kasi yung profit and net profit.
Yeah, like what Chef Brando is saying, iba nga, a lot of people think when you sell something, automatic, tanggalin mo yung food cost mo, that's already profit in your pocket. No, you have to consider also a lot of things, yung rent mo, yung tao mo, pag may binabayaran ka. But we're not going to talk more, we'll just do siguro another session for that. But in the end, it's about understanding what our net profit is after all of the other expenses.
Yeah. So, ito naman yung Knorr BAP per piece. When you costed this, isang piraso niya at 50 grams, around 13, 14 pesos. You can sell it for 44 pesos. At 30% food cost, net profit is 9 pesos. So, yun ang ating costing for the Lechon Baka and the Knorr BAP bun.
Yeah.
May question ulit dito, Chef.
Yeah.
Will it work, Chef, if I smoke it first, then place it in the oven?
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
In fact, the good thing, a lot of backyard cooks nowadays, they, nauso yung yung smoking. It's
May
also
smoker ka nga sa bahay, di ba?
smoker. I'm also an avid smoker. Smoker,
It's low.
Slow and slow cooking. Yes, it can work. Smoking with this manner can work. But normally when you smoke kasi, you want the surface area to be dry for the smoke to adhere. Because we're using a brine, it might be a problem. Siguro ang gagawin nyo, taasan yung temperature. Normally, you smoke at about 150 degrees Fahrenheit. So this one, you have to bring it up higher, about 300, 320, okay, for it to work. Okay. Now, going back to our BAP quickly, I placed the BAP in the oven already. I don't know if you can see it, no? Already pops up beautifully, no? Now, I have a couple of ingredients here. This is going to be for the glaze. Now, the glaze is something very special. Nauso kasi di ba yung mga
Korean bread,
yung very savory. Now, we're creating a savory bread today. Okay, again, more liquid seasoning, butter, okay, chicken powder. You could use aromat, you could use the garlic powder, Knorr roasted. Okay, again, it's a Knorr BAP, So if you want to try it, you have to really use the product. Okay. Now, next, ladies' choice, mayonnaise, real mayonnaise. Okay. So all of that you mix and you add it in. So this will be the glaze of my BAP. Okay. So ang idea nito para siyang sugar glaze ng donut. Diba? Parang you'll have this nice, but ito savory. Okay. So you can see it now like this. Okay, so that's going to be our glaze. Okay. Now, just want to show you. Okay, if you could see now. Okay, kita ko lang yung baka. Now, this one has what? I would say 15, 20 minutes in. At high temperature, you can see that nice caramelization happening now. Diba? Because it has been brined for quite some time, all of that caramelization coming from the sugar, coming from the protein of the meat, that's all flavor. That's very important when you're roasting. For you to get to a really good flavor, caramelization is key. Okay, so at this point, okay, this will cook for about 3 hours at a lower temperature, like I said, 140 na, 140, 145. After 2 hours, okay, of cooking, we will wrap it in foil. So we will let the meat cook its last hour wrapped in foil. That will prevent it from drying out. At the same time, creating, a lot of juice underneath that we could actually keep and use it as a sauce. Diba? Later on, Chef Brando will be making a really nice 2 sandwiches. Okay, and he'll be preparing also different sauces for that. So the idea again is to cook it in foil. Okay. Now every 2 hours, Okay, we want to make, every 30 minutes, I'm sorry, before natin siya i-wrap sa foil, we want to make sure we brush it continuously with our glaze, the glaze that we've done earlier with the smoking liquid. Okay, very important because that sugar, that smokiness, that that flavor we get from the Worcestershire sauce and the Knorr liquid seasoning will all be caramelized more sa top. Okay, so like I said, no, this will cook for a long time. Now I'll share with you finished one. Okay. Right, lapit tayo. So this is already a cooked one. Okay, I put it inside the fridge, but I can set so I can slice it thinly because I'm using it for a sandwich. If I want to eat it right away from the oven, let it rest a bit and then slice, no problem. But you see the caramelization, para ka nag-smoke ng meat. 3 hours, 140. This is how it looks like now. Okay, so this one I will slice very thinly using machine. Like I said, if you want to eat this one hot after cooking, right away, slice it. Let it rest sundali, and then slice it right away. Okay, so that's for my Lechon Baka. Now, you can see the bread, okay, cooking nicely. All right, so beforehand, I already made some. Okay, pero lalabas natin yan so you can see how I glazed it. Okay, so this one, you can see this parang sugar coating. Now, alam mo sugar, but it's savory. It's very savory. When you eat it, as it is, kahit wala na palaman, it's very, very good. Okay, it's nice and soft. Okay, you see. Super lambot yan. Okay, and this bread, this back, can actually hold a lot of juice, hold a lot of moisture. So if I put a gravy on top, it will not be soggy because it has a lot of fat in it. Okay, so it will not absorb as fast. No? Okay, so this is our bread. Well, and then I will just basically brush it. So it will take siguro mga 2 more minutes to cook, but I'll brush it already with the glaze. Kaya mo lang siya mag-melt. The mayonnaise, okay, will make it hold. We'll hold it together, okay, as it cooks. Okay, so the mayonnaise kasi it's stable naman. So cook it another 2 minutes, so mga 6 minutes in the oven, 2 more minutes, and that's done. It will look like this. Okay, so I hope you can try this one. Please ask me questions later on. I'll give this to Chef Brando. So kasi Chef Brando ang galing gumawa ng sandwich yan. If you could follow him sa kanyang posts, all of his sandwiches are like, wow. You know, makita mo pa lang magalaway.
Thank you, Chef.
So, you know, I'd love for him to create a really good sandwich for us today.
And using the Lechon Baka.
Lechon Baka and the Knorr Baka. Please, you try this one, guys. I'm telling you, super sarap.
Tayo natin yung Lechon Baka.
Oo nga.
Okay, any more questions, guys? Keep it going. Walang balat po yung Lechon Baka. Wala po siyang balat.
No, walang balat.
Any more questions? Again, may fat cap lang siya, but wala siyang balat.
Yeah.
But if for the lechon baboy, pwede dapat may isang balat. Chef, my electric oven has upper and lower heater. Do I have to use only the upper heat or both?
Both. Use both. Kasi very important that the heat source, especially sa mga ganong oven, kailangan pantay up and down. Hindi tayo nag-broil. Pag nag-broil ka, taas lang. Pero nagluto talaga, bake tayo, it has to be both ways.
So both. Now, one more question, Chef. What's the name of the bread? And can I use the same ingredients to other kinds of bread? Pwede ba yun?
Yes, definitely. The Knorr, we call this one the Knorr Baka. The reason why we coined it the Knorr Baka is because we use 4 of our favorite Knorr ingredients. I call it ingredients because, you know, for me, you cannot make a bread like this taste that way if you don't use those 4 ingredients that we have. Ito yung Knorr potato flakes, Knorr liquid seasoning, Knorr chicken powder, and Lady's Choice mayonnaise. Apat yan. Okay, but really, honestly, it's all about taste and flavor, no?
Chef Pipo, come on. Mag-hi ka dito.
Okay.
So, alam na, live tayo.
Yeah. Can I use the SKUs? Yes, the potato flakes you can use for making bread. You know, you could use a potato brioche, a potato flakes for your potato brioche, for example.
Pakita na Chef Kenneth.
See, ito yung ating lechon baka now. You see the amount of fat? It's actually fat na melt na yan, but this one is more of like the good fat. Okay? So you could cut it as thin as you like. This one, we want it a bit thicker para you could really taste and savor all of those flavors, di ba? So, Chef Brando, do the honors, please.
So my demo is really quick. I'm going to do two sandwiches using the Lechon Baka and the back, no, the Knorr back. So the first one is really just very simple sandwich. So I toasted the Knorr back here. So 100 grams at least. Hold it like so. Sarap ng dinner natin siya.
You can eat this one, warm lang, ha? You don't have to heat it up. You know, warm is better. In fact, if it's fatty, warm lang dapat. Ayaw mo mag-melt yung fat.
And I also made a very simple mushroom gravy. So naalala niyo ba yung mga classic na parang roast beef sandwich mo? So what I have here is Knorr gravy mix and some mushrooms. Again, the recipe will be sent to you. Imagine the flavor ng brine, Chef Kenneth, the roast beef, the lechon. Add it like so. So this one for full service restaurants, no? Pwede mong serve to. Ang costing nito probably you can sell it around 300 pesos or less than 180. And roughly you have a really good profit out of this.
You know, the good thing about that Knorr back talaga, it's, it will absorb all of that flavor without it being soggy in the end. You want,
Right.
It absorbs really good.
So this is just very basic. You can add cheese to this. You can add fried egg to this. Pwede mo lagyan ng grilled vegetables. Up to you. But me, I like want to taste the beef, the lechon baka. I want to taste the earthiness of the mushrooms. And syempre, yung pagiging savoriness nung Knorr back.
Yeah. So
Top it like so.
there's a question.
Okay, chef.
What setting did you use for the Combi oven? Okay, Combi oven, again, baking, right? So it's actually just straight up baking lang yan. No? Walang steam, nothing. It's just straight up baking. Yeah, no? Diba? Simple. You don't need any lettuce, diba, chef? You don't need tomatoes.
malasahan yung
It's just meat.
Yung pagka-lechon niya, yung
Diba?
smoky.
Oh.
Then you can also add side to this, like French fries, chips,
Super.
potato wedges, up to you. So this really one simple sandwich. The next one, isinate ni Chef Kenneth the back, but this one, pahaba, no? Para siyang hotdog bun. This one, we're going to turn this into parang a Philly cheesesteak. So, I have here naman, Knorr demi-glace. It's our brown sauce. Very easy to do as well. I also have some grilled onions and bell peppers. So just saute grilled onions and bell peppers. And a cheese sauce. Para siyang Philly cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak, yeah, I was
Parang
about to say.
cheesesteak,
Oh,
But very easy.
yeah.
Can
we substitute it with other vegetables pa, chef?
Pwede.
Oh.
Lagay mo lang yan dyan. Pwede ka pa maglagay ng ano dito again, fried egg, pwede.
Yeah, fried egg. Again, guys, look at this. The fat, you don't want this to melt when you're assembling your meat. You just want it warm. Just actually let the heat of your body, your taste, your mouth, parang warm it up slowly, Okay lang kainin ng ganyan yan. It's really good, no? It's like eating a cold, good sandwich.
So yeah, parang pastrami.
Oh, parang pastrami.
Demi-glace. Like so. Just a bit.
Yeah, gravy, no? Parang gravy.
Melted cheese, grated cheese. Up to you what type of cheese you want. This one is just plain cheddar. I mix it with milk. Then over it like so. Tignan natin ito.
Yan.
So that's our two applications, no, on the Lechon Baka and the Knorr Bak, featuring Knorr liquid seasoning.
Yan. In the end, it's all what we're trying to show here is showing you how it's done professionally. Okay, using our products as well, but at the same time understanding why we have to do things in a certain way. And that's very important when you're cooking, di ba? Because the more you understand, the more parang better your dishes will come out. Okay, the more parang confident you'll be when you're creating as a dish, di ba? So in this case, really nice sandwiches. I hope you could try it. I hope you can use the recipe that we share with you. Okay?
Mga question.
May mga questions tayo.
Turbo broiler, nasagot na. Can I put sesame seeds on top of the bread?
Yes, sesame seeds will add a bit of nuttiness, but me personally, I don't like them. You could add anything. You could add oatmeal, for example. You could even dust, kung gusto talaga matapang, you could dust it with some more of that malunggay powder if you wish. No, anything you could use.
All right. Can we use beef brisket?
Definitely you can, but beef brisket is a bit more expensive. It's about, I think, about 570 a kilo easily. No, so the second kasi with beef brisket, it's medyo tricky to cook because it has two parts of muscle in one. No, unlike the short plate, it's one muscle, one mass of muscle. The beef brisket, you will have two different muscles. So iba yung temperature of cooking the other muscle, yung tinatawag na point, and then the flat, ito yung sa dulo, ibang temperature din yon. So mahirap, very tricky. But you can, yes, definitely.
Right. So I think Richard will flash the costing for the sandwiches. So we'll go to a quick review of the costing. If you plan to sell those sandwiches, the Lechon Baka sandwich per serving, selling price, take 267 pesos. Net profit, easily, malinis, 53 pesos. So this one, at 267, very substantial, no?
Yeah.
Happy camper ka na nito, bubusog ka na niyan.
Yeah.
So again, you can do this. How about the Philly cheesesteak? How much ang costing natin? Or you can sell this for 306 and net profit 61 pesos. Medyo mahal lang siya because there's peppers, merong onion, merong cheese sauce.
Yeah.
But if you can source your raw materials, it's less expensive, mas lalaki pa yung profit.
Yeah.
So again,
you could use local pork. Pork belly can work with this. If the cost of pork becomes cheaper, then why not? What we're trying to here is give you ideas on how you could create, trendy dishes nowadays and make a profit out of it. Diba?
right. May mga questions pa, Chef Kenneth? Barbecue sauce po, pwede.
Of course. Barbecue sauce. We also have a product, Knorr barbecue sauce. You could also make your own. All right. If you want to make a Pinoy barbecue sauce, you make parang peanut glaze. Why not? Parang aristocrat style na peanut butter ang dating.
Masarap yun.
Filipino. You could create you could even make kind of like a banh mi. Diba? Kung ayaw mong ng bap, you could make a banh mi with the French bread, pickles, pwede rin. Again, idea of using lechon baka in a sandwich, is what we're trying to
Meron
show.
pa dito tanong, how many days will the gravy keep? So if you make the gravy, since our product is very easy to use, but if you plan to make it in a big batch, 2 days, 2 to 3 days in the ref, okay na siya.
Yeah.
Pero pag naubusan ka, mabilis naman gawin eh.
Yeah.
Air fryer can be used also, chef.
Yeah, ang problem na sa air fryer, when you're making lechon baka, it's small. That's why, the idea really is to cook it to spit in lechon style, or you have big oven, or if you're using an air fryer, cut it smaller para lang to fit, Kasi yun lang, medyo for the time that it's going to cook, and then maliit lang yung gagawin mo, sayang sa oras. Although hindi ko sinasabing hindi pwede, but yes, you could do that.
All right. So I think meron pang questions. Before we proceed to the next questions, we would just like to highlight some of the products this afternoon. Our ever famous Knorr liquid seasoning.
Yeah.
So I have here our 3.8 liters. Okay.
Yeah.
Meron na rin kaming bago, yung 2 liters. So if this is too much for you or medyo malaki, you can always get the 2 liters. The unit price for this is 789 pesos. The 2 liters is 459.95.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can enjoy exclusive deals from our online store. You can get free shipping, wholesale pricing, up to 20% lower than the supermarket, and flexible payment terms. Pwedeng COD, bank transfer, and syempre, GCash.
Yeah.
Pwede.
This is one of my favorite products natin talaga. Iba yung lasa nun.
And also, if you plan to order online, we have an online store, our UFS online store, in 5 easy steps. So please follow step number 1, select your location, syempre, your city, distributor. Ano naman yan? So, pag kinlik down niya yan, lalabas kung sino yung distributor. Step 2, yan, favorite natin ito, add to cart. Scroll through our complete assortment. Yan, so shopping lang kayo dyan. Then 3, check out. Click on the cart icon and then process to check out. Proceed to check out. Create an account, no? Input your personal details para ma-deliver namin yung order nyo. And finally, yan, order confirmation. You will receive an email from Unilever Food Solutions order. So, check out our website, check out our online store. Daming recipes doon. Ang dami rin naming world-class products that you can choose from. And inspiration. Yeah. Not just this one, but a lot more recipes to inspire you. Okay. Any more questions, Chad? So we have the next 15 minutes for Q&A. So send it.
Any questions? Please feel free to message us right away para we could answer your questions. Now this masterclass event will be running this one, I think every month. No, so it's very exciting. If you want to have anything that you want us to share with you guys, send us a message, okay? Para we could siguro include it in our when we plan, okay? Baka we could add it in, no?
Check my questions.
Yeah.
Okay, the 267 pesos na selling price for the sandwich, that is 100 grams of lechon baka. 100 grams. Can I add lettuce or cucumber to the sandwich? Yes, by all means, no. Add vegetables to your liking.
That could also serve as an extender.
Extender.
The vegetables, it's cheaper definitely than meat. Adding more of that will make your sandwich look bigger. At the same time, of course, you want also the additional texture that it has, no? The crunchiness from the cucumber, tomatoes also, lettuce.
Okay, how to make gravy using Knorr and mashed potatoes. So you have the Knorr gravy mix. That is 110 grams per pouch. Dissolve it in 1 liter of water. Simmer it until it thickens. Add a little Nordic seasoning and pepper. That's it. And again, go to the website. Nandun po yung recipe ng gravy. If you want the recipe on how to make mashed potatoes, nasa website din po.
Yeah. Guys, try that mashed potatoes. In fact, always yan. I always challenge a lot of people. I make them proper mash, and then I, using real potatoes, and I make our mashed potatoes using the Knorr potato flakes. All the time, this comes out better. Okay,
again, guys, just a reminder that we will be sending the recording of this session at the same time, that recipe. So make sure you have logged in your information.
Yeah.
Para mas-send namin lahat ng mga nyo.
Yeah.
Question, masagot at mas-send ang aming inyong mga recipe.
Meron pa yata. Can we use pork loin?
Yeah.
Can we use pork loin for making this? Yes, you can. Take off that baka, change that protein, chicken, use that same recipe for the brine. I'm telling you, that brine works really well. Okay, so try it out, please, guys.
Pero pa dito, please send me where we can order again online. So pwede tayo bumalik sa slide na yon. Charge. Is it all 20% off? Free delivery as well? So, sila Richard na makakasagot nun.
Guys, sorry, again, please try out that bread. Okay, of course, the lechon baka, you try it out. But the bread per se, I wish you could try it. You can only do that one if you get our products.
Okay, so the link to the website is at the Zoom chat. Check out the chat box. Okay, check out the chat box. The link to the website is there. Para click nyo lang and you will be directed to the website.
Yeah.
Anything else on the other side?
Yeah. Meron pa ba?
Meron pa? Ilan pa tayo? 127. Wow, thank you for...
Thanks for sticking with us, guys. That inspires us to make more masterclass events, So please, again, let us know what what you want us to do next time, or we could include it in your planning sessions, no?
Chef, may tanong, what is beef short plate in Tagalog?
O nga, ano ba tawag doon?
Beef belly.
Beef belly, no? Belly. Okay, beef belly.
Okay, the thing is, just a reminder, beef belly or beef short plate is the American term, okay? American term, meaning if you're going to buy a beef short plate or beef belly, it is from the US. Wala pa kami na-encounter na nagbibenta locally ng beef short plate.
Yeah.
I suggest you buy the one from the US kasi maganda ang quality.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Ito ba, my own?
Well, okay, we're not trying to promote imported meat. It's just that the quality kasi of imported meat versus our quality here in the Philippines, again, iba yung cut. Second, you could maximize the meat, okay? Because you know that it's very consistent. The meat kasi in the Philippines, you know, we have good quality meat, local meat, minsan may pangit. You know, most of the time we're using utility cattle, you know. But again, another thing, imported meat kasi consistent in a lot of aspects. You know, even with the cooking time, you can already say, okay, if I'm using this brand, this cut of meat, it cooks in X amount of time. Automatic yan. Unlike with the Philippines, minsan hindi mo alam, tigas, kailangan lutuin mo pa ng sobra. Minsan, you know, our cattle kasi they graze a lot. So, there is less fat in the meat because they're very lean. So, mahirap lutuin, no? It's really good for mga braising, stewing. But for roasting, medyo mahirap. That's why yung lechon baka, they cook it buo na may buto pa. Because if it has a bone still intact, then it actually helps aid cooking.
So mas moist, no?
O, magiging moist kasi siya.
Right.
Pero kung walang buto, dry eh. You know, that's the only thing. And lastly, I think imported meat kasi it's very tender. It cooks in less amount of time versus our local meat. Okay, that's it really.
Ito, meron tanong. What do you call that method, lechon baka covered with aluminum foil, steaming while roasting? So,
yeah, well, actually, it's not steaming anymore. It's really just parang controlling the heat, no? It's already cooked by 2 hours. This one is cooking for 3 hours. Para lang hindi masunog. It contains a lot of sugar, contains a lot of you know, caramelization will happen throughout the cooking. Yung first hour of cooking pa lang, marami ng, you know, mangingitim na yan eh. So, wrapping it in foil basically will just help control the temperature. At the same time, all of the juices that you still have will all be retained inside the foil. We're not steaming it anymore. But yes, there's steam happening inside. But controlled na. The heat is still high. Yeah. Okay? Compared to steaming. Yun lang naman.
All right, so this is very heartening. Thank you, Unilever, for the good recipes. I can now cook lechon baka at home.
Yan.
Hope you will invite me again on the next webinar. So again, thank you whoever sent that. That warms our hearts.
Salamat.
Salamat po. And again, marami pang sessions. With next coming month, we will be planning again. So, yeah. Yun, anything else from our tech guys? Our support team, Richard, Isabel, Lorraine, Shanice. Thank you for Gabby. Hello, Gabby. Go.
Hello, Gabby. I'd like to say hi to my wife, Marky Cacho. Thanks for watching. And
the rest of the UFS team here, Chef Pao.
Oh.
Behind the camera. Chef people there. Rafi, kaway ka, Rafi. Hello.
Yeah.
Sheila.
I hope, you know, our visit to the house, eventually, when we get the chance already to travel again, diba? Baka we could say hi, no? Soon.
So, yun. So,
okay.
This has been really one fun afternoon. And again, just to remind you, we will be sending the recording and the recipes in your email. Kung wala na pong tanong, on behalf of myself, Chef Brando Santos, thank you for joining us this afternoon for our UFS Culinary Masterclass featuring Lechon Baka. It has been an honor and a privilege. We'll see you again soon. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, guys. Salamat for joining us. You know, again, Food Solutions, Unilever Food Solutions, we're always your solution. Okay, come, you know, just call us. Okay, also browse again. Like earlier we said that we browse through our website. Everything is there. You know, feel free to try all of our recipes out. But again, ito yung trend ngayon. Try it. I promise you, it's really good. If it's not good, you send me a direct message. Okay, no, but it's really good. You try it out, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Salamat.